Okay, good afternoon, everyone, again, and welcome to another Friday live stream with myself, Matthew, and Howard.
Hello.
Hello, everyone. So thank you, everyone who watches in. But if you do us a favour, if you can subscribe to the channel, there's a little bell notification there as well. You'll find out about these straight away. It's a big help for us, and you can whack a like on there as well. It means that we're saying the right things for you. But today we just wanted to go over a bit as to what's happening with the market. What's been the stamp duty got introduced. What's happened there, how that has affected the market, and we'll go from there. So, Matt, do you want to start and just give us a bit of an overview how things have been in the last week for Lancaster and Morecambe?
I certainly shall, because it's been exciting, more than exciting, actually. Again, we're not just saying this, guys. You might be thinking, these agents are just saying that just to give us hope and get us excited to go on the market with them. But literally, we've been off our feet. I mean, myself and Kevin, listing-wise, as well as Emma, our marketing expert, photography-wise, we've got, 9 going live this week. One's just been stalled until next week just to get some other bits altered. And sales-wise, it's literally getting to the point where, we had one recently on Abram Heights. It didn't even have a chance to go to the market. I literally valued it, said to the owners there, I said, look, I do have somebody interested. I mean, they've chosen me to be their acting agent. However, let's face it, some agents do say that to try and get the business, but genuinely they trusted me. I said, I've got somebody interested. We put it at this price. Within 12 hours the next day, in the morning, it was sold. For 98% of the asking price, which is fantastic on a £300,000 house. The buyer openly said to me, to secure it, I can stretch that a little bit further now because of the stamp duty cut, which is great. But it's exciting. People are paying more, closer to the asking price. Genuinely, we aren't just saying it for the wholesale spiel of going, the market is busy. This isn't happening because. Yeah. I know that some agents get a bad name, guys. I know that people say about salesmen, but genuinely, the market is very, very busy. I can't kid you enough. In the LA postcode at the moment, we are putting them on as quick as they're selling. Especially, I'll be honest, any 4-bed detached, any kind of 4-bed semi, people are realising that they want to upsize now. That doesn't mean that the 3 beds are not selling. That's not true. However, what I've noticed from our kind of collection of properties and what we've sold, 4 beds, and I'm sure Kevin will agree with me, they are absolutely flying off the shelves. And that's because people are realising they want a bigger house. They've been cooked up inside for so long.
Yeah, no, I think you're right, Matt. There's definitely demand for certain contracts more than others, but overall the market is good, isn't it? But I'll come on to some exact figures again later and touch on those that I mentioned last week as well. But how was the vendor on that one, Matt? Because obviously that's a very quick turnaround.
Yep. Of course. So now the vendor, this is the thing, because, by the way, guys, I'm talking sense and drinking Diet Coke and not a beer. I know it's a Friday, but we're still working. Now the vendor was ecstatic. Now, as an agent, I'll be honest, that can either go one of two ways when you sell a house that quick. Now, what I did with the vendor, and what I always do when I value a house, is I don't just go through comparables. I look at time, market increase, I look at where rates are at, not just necessarily thinking that'll affect the value, but it'll affect what somebody's willing to pay for it. And again, the old saying goes is a house is only worth what somebody's willing to pay for it. So the vendors, they're both an older couple. They're both very skeptical because they've been in the house now for 36 years. So they've been in there 36 years. They've been there a long time, guys. So, bear in mind, it's a bit of a wrench for them as well. So when I said this valuation, they told me they'd be happy with an XYZ figure. We got over the XYZ figure, so it was more comfortable for them. But the vendor was obviously ecstatic. By me saying it can either go two ways, is the vendor says, maybe I could have got more. But as long as us as the agent has done our job properly, and we've explained, look, this is what they're selling for, this is what you can get for it, this is what we can do, and instill confidence in that vendor, they were very happy. I hope that makes sense. But as long as we as an agent do our job properly and explain prices and why we've priced it like that, then everything should become apparent. It's just the demand at the time. is, the buyers obviously didn't want this to go live onto the market because they thought, if we don't snap this up, somebody else will. So therefore, they paid the right price for it.
Yeah, it's good, and it's well worth, when you get an agent out to see you, to make sure that they have done their research with the figures that they're telling you, and you can do your own research actually, by going on to Rightmove, Zoopla, all these portals to actually look what's around, what's about. You can see how long they've been on the market for, and you can see pictures, so you can see conditions of them and all this sort of thing. So, make sure that your agent's done the legwork, and so that they're justifying exactly what's saying, because you can have some widely varying prices. You have some that are really low, some that are really high, some that you think are bob on. So yeah.
In all honesty, without interrupting you, Kev, I'd probably say, and Howard would probably find this, and you maybe have, Kev, in the past as well, is when you go out to people, I would say 90% of clients know near enough what their house is worth. I'd say our job is to instill that it is worth that, or how the market's gone, and actually, is it worth more? I don't mean they know accurately what they think their house is worth, but everybody's got a rough figure of course, what they want for it, because they need to get that figure to move to the next XYZ, if that makes sense. Again,
Okay.
Us as agents are there to give them the professional opinion. We're the local experts. We know what's selling, what's not selling. A flat, for example, a flat could be worth, say, 200,000, but next year another new build development could go next door to it, and they could be 200,000 brand new, and you bought this £200,000 one, and it's second hand. Is somebody realistically going to pay more for that flat when there's a new one next to it? That's what we're there to instill.
Cheers, Matt. Hello, Howard.
How you doing? How you doing? Yeah, I was going to say, I just realised I was blacked out there, just listening. And I thought I might not be able to speak out. But anyway, just to let everyone out there watching, listening, back up what Matt says. This last 2 weeks has been really busy. This last week, my workload has doubled without a shadow of a doubt. Doubled in terms of incoming calls. People want to go viewing, houses coming to the market, and ultimately housing selling. So last Friday, I put a house on the market at 7:30 last Friday evening. Come Saturday morning, I had 4 viewings. Come Monday afternoon, I had 6. So we've done 6 viewings on this property. It doesn't suit everyone, of course, the property. But the good news is, as of yesterday, so that's 6 days into it, the property's sold. And to back up, very similar to what Matthew said there, is the vendor wanted slightly more. I went back to the people and suggested to them, that they want a little bit more near the asking price. And they just said to me, well, we're saving money on the stamp duty. Like you said, Matthew, we could probably put the stamp duty saving towards it if that would help secure it. And it did the trick. And equally so, my vendor was a little bit more receptive to an offer, because equally so, when she goes to buy a property, which she's going over the Pennines to Yorkshire, she'll be able to also save money there. It just shows the fact that 6 viewings on one property has been on the market a week. That demand is there. So again, we said last week, houses coming to the market are phenomenal. I think last week there was 45,000 houses nationwide that came to the market. Again, it's up on year, and it's been up like that for a number of years. It's not been as high. The sales figures as well, again, are through the roof. And that's, I can't remember the year now, but I think it was 2008. I think the sales were that high. Is that right, Kevin? Does that ring bells, that year? I think it's 2008, the last time the sales were as high as what they were last week.
Wasn't it? Yeah.
So it is truly great. There's more houses coming to the market as well, which I'm grateful for, because we've all got the buyers out there. So yeah, a very positive week. I tend to find, I was speaking to you guys before, towards the end of the week, the Friday, Saturday, Sundays, Mondays, they seem to be the busiest time of that people want to go out viewing. So maybe this, and that's been the last 2 or 3 weeks. I've found that where it's really ramped up. Friday's been, whereas normally I'd go for a pint about 7 o'clock at night, 7:15 maybe. I'm still receiving phone calls, still making phone calls up to 8:30 on a Friday evening. So it just gives you, there's that demand out there.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it, that I think you're right, more activity does happen on properties over the weekend, or around those weekend days. Because I suppose generally people have got a bit more free time, haven't they?
Yeah,
People
exactly.
like working and during the week, and they didn't spend a bit of time having a look at stuff, can't they? Over the weekend, or certainly Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and back that over into Monday. So
I also think that I mean, having these virtual video tours the majority of estate agents have now, again, that's quite good as well, because when I actually get emails, people want to go and view a property, I actually ring up and ask them, have they seen it yet? And if they haven't seen it, I send it to them. And in all honesty, it does kind of, as a seller, having the tool to enable your viewer or would-be viewers to have a look at that, I think it eliminates people who might just be kind of hairy-fairy, possibly might look at it and not. Where if they see it, I think they're a little bit more sincere and a little bit more guaranteed that they'll like your property, unless they walk through the door and there's something there that's contrary to what they've seen in the video. So I think from that point of view as well, Kevin, Matt, that I'm finding the viewers I'm getting were a lot more serious. Do you know what I'm saying? So that they've seen it already. They've had enough idea to see it. They're going to go and see it themselves.
Well, of course, we've made it a policy that they have to have seen the virtual tour of the property before you go around.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, reason one is definitely that you don't just get people wandering around your house, especially at a time when you don't want that many people in your house at the time, or close together because of COVID. But it does mean that if they have seen it, and those virtual tours that we do, they're not a slideshow. They're not.
They're not somebody walking around with a mobile phone videoing something with a music backdrop on.
Doing an unbelievable bit of, a great bit of kit. We get so much good feedback from them. But it does. You're basically there, aren't you? They're that good. So if somebody's seen that, and then he's coming around your house, they are serious about it. There's a good chance that someone's going to go for it, unless there is that feel or to see something that just doesn't quite. But generally speaking, the quality of viewings from our point of view is much better, hasn't it? We've.
I tell you, one thing I will say, if anyone's watching out there, and this happens all the time. So 6 people go and view a property. Okay. Sometimes they ring you before you ring them, and obviously I've had a couple of them on those. But on the others as well, you ring them up the following day for feedback. It might be in the morning, it might be in the evening. How are you doing? I enjoyed spending 45 minutes, however long it is with you, ringing up for a bit of feedback. They've been taken off the earth. They've diminished. They've gone. So if you're one of those, and not just us, any estate agent, an estate agent rings up and asks you a little bit of feedback, just do, if you can, the gesture of calling them back, not just for the estate agent, it's actually for the vendor, just to give them a bit of feedback, positive or negative. So sorry about that. It's just a bit of a gripe that I've had for 24 years.
To be honest, Howard, I completely agree with you on that. I think there's nothing worse when, especially that, I think it's not just for us because it's our job to show people around, but when you've got a vendor who has specifically grafted and cleaned up their house specifically the night before when they've got 3 kids and 2 dogs or whatever and 3 guinea pigs and a rabbit, or something daft like that. They've grafted all night to clean that house. The viewer comes the next day, they give you all the positive vibes, and you don't hear from them again. And you just feel for that vendor like, I can't even give her all the feedback.
I think another thing of that is put yourself in the vendor's shoes. If that was your house and you got people coming around it, and you then think that's very positive, and you're thinking, oh, I'm going to sell it, and I can love look at that house that I really liked, and all this sort of thing. Then nothing happens, and you don't get any feedback. And bear in mind that the best feedback is actually negative feedback, because we can try and do something about it. Then, what position does that leave the vendor in? It just, it's not great, is it? But there's a little gripe there. Like I say, we've got over that now. Howard, you can.
I think I'm actually probably saying that on behalf of every estate agent out there. No, but like it's not a gripe. It's just a bit of a, on rentals. In fact, on rentals, you're used to because they either like it or they don't like it.
Yeah.
On a rental side, on a sales side, to reiterate what Matthew said, it's just important to give the vendor some feedback. That's all. But, Anyway. Yeah. But as long as you're viewing them, keep viewing them, keep buying them.
You made a massive point though about the 360 tour tech that we've got. I'm not really seeing anyone else round locally with us with that specific stuff that we've got. And the way I explain it to vendors on a, on a valuation is, look, I've got the Google Maps of your house. You know that little yellow chap that you drop down on the Google Maps when you pick him up and put him down on the street view to see everything. I said, it's almost like that, but inside your house. And vendors are amazed when I tell them that. I said, literally, it's not us walking around with a mobile phone. If you miss something, you can go back, you can click on it.
Yeah,
it's great bit of technology. I love it.
No, it is, and the feedback we get from it is fantastic as well. And at Preston, we're all under the same company at Preston. We kind of do two. I do one where people can go on themselves and go around it, but also I do one myself on that 360 where I take the tour and I go around slow and talk about it. But you are right, Matt. If they want to miss something, they can go back and do it themselves, and they can zoom in and do everything. And it's very well received by the viewers.
Yeah,
without a shadow of a doubt. Yeah, and it helps.
Yeah, good. Well, I say we're doing them on everything at the moment, aren't we? So if somebody does want, is interested to see one or see how they work, or certainly see how they benefit selling your house, and give these guys a call. We'll explain it to you. But I thought I'd just sort of I'd just give everyone a bit of a update on the stats, because obviously you guys are saying that the market's good and everything like that, and just so we give a bit of an update as to exactly what's happened. And as I did the same last week, so we'll just see how that has changed. Now, I was looking at houses coming to the market. All right, so I said last week that the houses coming to the market, there was 355 in LA postcodes, and there was 377 in the PR postcodes. At the moment, there's only 144 new instructions so far in LA. So if you double that up halfway through the month, 288, you're going to be under 300. It's going to be well down on last year again still, I would think. There is a bit more activity, so that may come up, but it's going to probably be short of last year on year. And the same, even more so in the PR postcodes, how it is. There's only been 122 so far this month.
Right.
Against 377 for the whole of July.
Yeah, it's a massive 250 odd down, isn't it?
You think so? You're over 100 properties down year on year.
Yeah.
The PR postcode, there's a real lack of property supply.
Well, yeah, the thing is though, I can understand that, and when I speak to someone about properties as well, in all honesty, I'd like to sell people my houses, but I actually, when people ring up and ask me for a property, I will actually look at them and say, look, I'm not selling it, but in order to try and help you, there's one around the corner, this price, that, because they might not have seen that one. So I actually do try and help people, even if they don't buy from me. But the fact is that those questions are asked, have you got any more? Have you got anything else? Because there isn't that supply that the demand craves for, and yeah, I mean, we said it last week, and to reiterate again, if you are thinking of selling, it's a fantastic time now, because you've got a lot of people out there looking for properties. There's, the stamp duty threshold has changed. So honestly, it's a great opportunity if you're thinking of selling. Speak to your estate agent. Speak to us. We're here to help you and give you some advice.
Yeah, definitely. If you look at the sales, LA postcode, LA 1 to 4, Lancaster Morecambe was 196 sales last year in July, 105 so far in July, half the month. So if it went on and carried the same, it'd be over 200. So there'll be more sales this July. That's
less stock as well.
Spot on, yeah.
With less stock, and the PR ones that we operate in, so 1, 4, and 5, generally they're 191 last year. And 127 so far. If you double that up, you again to 250, you're well over on the sales, but really far down on the thing. So there's a real swing there, certainly the PR postcodes as to supply and demand. And to show we talked about the conversion, so we look at how many of the sales convert to. So LA postcodes last year, the conversion was 55%.
I tell you, just thinking on that as well, thinking out loud. I don't know if you've got any, if you've heard any feedback or anything in terms of, because obviously there's more sales getting agreed. Has there been a backlog in surveys, or also is there? Because I know all solicitors haven't gone back to work, have they? Some of them working from home, some of them are still furloughed. And is there going to be a backlog of exchanges and completions because of our solicitors, more solicitors needed to come back to work? I don't know. I'm just thinking out loud. What do you think? Have you heard anything, or any guys?
Ed Sheeran, thinking out loud.
Thinking out loud, is it?
No, I've not heard anything. I think in my own personal experience.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah.
You know, searches aren't taking long.
Right, good.
I think my own purchase will have been done in about 6 weeks.
Well, that's good going, isn't it?
That's so it is possible, and I completely understand that. Mine's quite an easy chain. I'm buying something that's empty, so and I'm going to knock it about. You know, it needs loads of work, so the survey didn't matter. You know, it doesn't really matter about that much about what they're leaving in there. And so, you know, it doesn't. You know, there's nothing complicated about it. It's quite simple, but it's going to have been done in about 6 weeks. And it could
I think I think you'd expect that the normal time of year. So you know, I think that just probably backs up. Everything seems to be doing all right.
But I don't think we're finding too many that are stretching out. There are some solicitors that are definitely slower than others, and that will be because of furloughing.
Is it? So I thought that was the case.
Yeah, I think it will be. They're not.
Yeah.
A lot of them still. Some of them are only working part time, or some of them aren't back at all. And I heard that the government, Mr. Johnson, had announced today that from the 1st of August, companies will be deciding whether you can come back to the office and start working. So I think that in August there's going to be more coming back. There's changes to the furloughing scheme as well. Obviously, from August around it. So I would think that more will be coming back. Then
I think
to help with this extra load. Because like I say, the conversions are really high as well, so the sales are up.
Yeah,
they're just massive. I think last week in the PR postcode areas that it was 100% conversion sales to new instructions to sales. 70 new instructions, 69.
Yeah, I remember those figures. That example I gave you a minute ago. That just
Well, now it's got a bit bigger, so it's 122 instructions and 127. So it's over 100%. It's over 100% conversion now. You know, which is just phenomenal. So again, we do mention it every single week. We have already mentioned it now. If you have a house to sell, there does not appear to be a better time that you could try and sell it.
No.
Get it on now. That's what I'm telling people. Get it on now.
Speak to an agent, see what they can do for you, get them out, get your pricing, and get moving. You'll save money on stamp duty, generally. Pretty much everyone will. You know, mortgage rates are really, really low. And if there is a recession, I'm pretty sure that we talked about mortgage rates going into negative figures. So, you know, is a tracker mortgages, all those sort of things. You might be able to make sense with that. You know, obviously you can go the other way, so don't take that as any advice. But, you know, there's plenty of positive, good stuff going on and good reasons why if you're thinking of moving, why you should move.
Yeah. And
we can help out. Estate agents are here to help. You know, we are here in the business to sell houses. We do it in different ways to others. Also, especially, we've got quite a unique way of doing it that we think benefits.
I think the thing is what like you were just saying there, though, we most of us have bought and sold as well, you know, as an agent. So we know, you know, firsthand the experience. And it's like I was saying earlier, you know, we're not all salesy, you know, we come in, we are people too. We want, you know, our understand why you're moving, what you need to move for, and we'll explain. I had one, that one I was telling you about, they wanted to genuinely know, should they sell now or wait in 3 months' time? And I was honest, sell it now. And it's like you were just saying then, Kev, now is the time to sell. We've been through that. We know how stressful it can be buying and selling. Crikey, mine took 6 months just to get in, which was a nightmare. But thankfully, I knew what I was doing, but not everybody else. And we can be the people who can do this for you.
Yeah, definitely. All right, guys. So yeah, give us a call, drop us a message, comment on the video. We're more than happy to talk to you about what's going on in the market. One-to-one directly. We'll come out and see you. No pressure, no obligation to go on the market with us, but we're here to help.
Yeah, absolutely.
We want to do that. So yeah, great. And as I said at the start as well, consider subscribing to the channel. There's a little bell notification that'll pop up, so you'll find out when we go live. You'll get a little notification about that. And dropping us likes on videos, those sort of things means that we're passing on information that's relevant for you. And if anyone has any questions that they want answering,
send
them in and we'll answer them here. We'll answer them live. You can comment as we're talking. We will answer the questions live for you. So yeah, it's great to see and speak to everyone again. And we'll be back again next Friday, and hopefully the good news continues.
Yeah, enjoy your weekend. If we
take care, guys. Enjoy. If anything, give us a shout.
Cheers, guys. See you later.